What are you most proud of for what that team last year accomplished, coming off of the season that they had?
I just think the group came together. I think the group was we had some new players on our team, and I think they did a good job of coming together. And when we had the roster that we had and started with, we were really very successful. I think they showed a lot of perseverance. I think they showed a lot of grit and fight, and they were relentless. I think that's what we're about. Like, we may get knocked down, like we got knocked down the season before. We got hit with some injuries, and you know, it was COVID year, and we came back with a vengeance. We were relentless, so I'm proud of them for that.
Shynia, if you could pinpoint something that turned the corner between those two seasons, what do you think it would be?
You're talking about last year, correct?
Pardon?
Last year?
Well, one of the, I can help with that. One of the reasons why is she came in, right? So we got some additions that came in that were positive people, that were good players, and it kind of helped us. But Shynia, you can talk about like just what led us to being successful. Right.
I would say us learning how to handle adversity. Like, we really locked in, and like we kept on trying to get better through all the adversity that was like coming after us. We really focused on just trying to help and make each other better, and then in every day of practice.
Well, how did you get better on the court from the first day of practice to the last game of the season?
We competed. We competed.
And better shooters, better defenders,
okay.
better
Well,
rebounding. What do you think?
I would say we really took it one day at a time. Like, with shots, we built confidence with our shooters. With rebounding, we built confidence with that, doing the drills, like really focusing on the details and actually like learning like the process, like trusting the process of us getting better each and every day.
Coach, you had a brand here, you know, before 2 years ago and everything. That there was a style of JU women's basketball, and you know, the defended, you were relentless, you ran everything. So did last year's team?
Absolutely.
How close did last year's team get back to what had worked in the past?
They were there. They got there. They understood what the assignment was, like the kids say. They understood the assignment, and they were there. When we go into battle, they knew they had to put their hard hats on and get ready to go to battle, and they knew like what we can carry with us in our suitcase when we go on the road is what we do defensively, and they understand that, and this group is starting to understand that now, and we're just growing and continuing to grow from there.
Shynia, how much did the Minnesota game come into play with that? Was it not so much you're sending a message to everybody else, but did it send a message within?
We definitely felt after that game that we can make an impact and make a statement in the ASUN and in the nation, in the country. Going into that game, all of us was very, very nervous, of course, playing on that scenery, that stage. But we really just locked in, actually fought hard together to come out with that win.
But did it prove as much to you as it did maybe to anybody else?
Yes. Like, we made a statement, and we stood on that.
And Seraphine, did I pronounce it correctly?
Yes.
Okay. What have you learned about the culture of JU women's basketball since you've been here?
I've learned a lot. It's a special program with a lot of good people here, good coaches. It's just like a good atmosphere to grow. So yeah, I've learned a lot.
But what is, if somebody now says the words JU women's basketball, what comes to mind, or what would you, if somebody asked you about, just capsulize this program and this culture in 2 or 3 words, what would you say?
In just one word, I would say relentless. Relentless, because we're gonna fight every single time, we're gonna play hard every single time, and we're gonna try to win every single time. So yeah, relentless.
How hard are practices?
Right now, a little bit hard, but we're trusting the process. We're here to grow. We're trusting the coaches. We are just trusting everything. So,
are you hard on each other in practice?
Yeah.
I mean,
That's the goal. Like, I'm hard on Mo. Mo is hard on me, but she make me better every single time, and I make her better every single time. So.
Coach, how do you think you might be better than last year? Any areas in particular that you either going to see continued improvement or progress?
I think we had we had 8 new players last year, right? And I think the group that was with them kind of was overshadowed by the group that came in. And I think this year, this group knows the culture, what we're about, what we stand for. We don't do that. We do this, right? So Mo can tell Fifi, we don't do that. That's not what we're about, right? We go get loose balls. We J-move that. We box out. We got to run ball side, right? They know all of our, we don't do that in the classroom. We don't do that in the cafeteria. We do this, right? So they're able to kind of govern themselves a little bit better than the group was before because they were learning, right?
Sounds like they police each other, and you don't necessarily have to step in every little.
That's the goal. Now sometimes I got to step in now, right? And that's okay because they're still learning, but they know it and they're mature. Like you got, I got 2 grown women sitting next to me, right? So like, you're coaching women, right? And that's the deal. They're not fresh out of high school where they haven't been through experiences, haven't had any adversity. Like both of these young women and a lot of the young women on our team have had adversity, right? And they've had to be able to get through it in their life, in basketball and outside of basketball. So I think that's a big piece, and they can help the younger people understand, like they're gonna go through those adverse times, and we're gonna have times where we may be down 8 to a team we may not supposed to be down on. We may be up 15 on a team we may not supposed to be up 15 on. How do we handle that, right? And I think they've done a good job thus far in the preseason of doing that, and I'm excited about the season.
I'm assuming that you brought Seraphine in, she's going to help you on the perimeter. Do you think you'll be shooting the ball a little bit better from outside this year?
Absolutely. All right, absolutely.
Is there anybody else you brought in that you think
Yeah.
is going to help you?
I think Jaleesa Dunlap shoots the cover off the ball right now. You have,
She flashed.
yeah.
Flashed a little bit last year.
Yep, she shoots the cover off the ball right now. It just hurt consistency, and she was a freshman last year. All freshman team. She has a chance to be special. I got 2 freshmen that shoot the cover off the ball. I got Keyshauna Brown that can really shoot it. You got Julene Royale. She shoots the cover off the ball. She's from Spain, our Spanish connection, right? And then we have, and don't forget about Deshari Graham, right? Deshari Graham, we go to Stetson without Deshari Graham, and if Deshari Graham is there for those games, it may be a little bit different. You got Deshari Graham. We were without Deshari Graham at Upstate. Deshari Graham is here for those games. It may be a little bit different. So we got a lot of great pieces, and we got to continue to gel and put them together and help us grow.
What do you think the conference is going to look like this year?
Good.
I mean, is there the usual suspects?
Absolutely. I mean, Florida Gulf Coast is always going to be good, right? Liberty is always going to be good, right? Jacksonville State made some noise last year, right? And North Alabama plays a different style, so they're going to be good, right? It's just North Florida plays a different style. They're going to be good, so it's going to be a battle. One of my assistants, Jess Bogie, she did some research, and we had, as far as, what do they call this? Not RPI anymore. What is this thing called? The net rankings. We were the number 15 conference in the country, right? So it's not like, yes, we beat Minnesota, but Florida Gulf Coast beat LSU, who was, a top 4 team in the tournament, right? And then you got Liberty that beat Virginia Tech by 20 points, right? Who went to the Sweet 16. So like, this conference is a good conference. It has some really good coaches, and it has some good players, and we just got to continue to grow and grind. And we had a lot of good players in the conference as well, and the two sitting next to me are two of them.
Did Austin P and Queens bring, make it?
Austin P was really good in their league. Austin P was good in their league. Queens is coming from Division II. I really don't know much about Queens, but I do know Austin P. I recruited a couple players that go to Austin P, and I know they're pretty good. So.
Well, what did you learn last year? What was the biggest thing you learned throughout the course of the season?
I learned, if it was one thing, how to balance basketball from the style that I've came from and from this style. At my old school, it was offense, offense, offense. JU is all about defense. And we convert defense to offense. But you have to play defense first. That's one thing I learned big.
Seraphine, is that something that drew?
Like, literally.
Yeah, we are going to lack in defense.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
I know relentless is the term that applies to everything, but like when we come out to see games this year, like what is it going to look like? Defensively to offense, kind of what you described there a little bit. I mean, what are we going to see?
If I could simply say it, you're just about to see dogs that are really trying to get after it, like us, that we're really playing together, and we're trying to make it a statement every time we step on the court. And we're just going to go hard. We're going to keep getting it. That's about it. That's the simple way to say it.
Coach, you've been here for quite a while now. Between being an assistant, being the associate head coach, now being the head coach. Where have you seen this program grow in the basically 10 years now that you've been here coaching?
I've seen it grow tremendously. From us beating a Big Ten team, right? Like, when teams schedule us, right, they're like, sometimes it's kind of difficult to get a game against some of the lower tier BCS programs because they think it may pay us to beat them, right? And I think understanding that, and I think we starting to, it's not there where we need it to be yet, but I think the exposure to the university, exposure to the world about JU, like the story of Seraphine, how Seraphine got here is crazy, right? She told me she was watching a random game against us playing against South Florida. And it was the only game she watched outside of her games last year, am I right?
Yeah.
She was just watching a random game. We played South Florida. And we're at South Florida, and we're in battle. It's an 8 to 10 point game going to the fourth quarter. And she saw how our style of play, she saw how we played our point guard, and she was excited about coming. She said, I'm coming to Jacksonville. It was a blessing, right? It was like, she came in, and I got on the phone with her, and she was like, I'm coming. I'm like, wow, right? And it's just a testament to the work that these young women have put in and the work that they show when they're on stage, right? When they're on stage, they're impacting so many people that they don't even know that they're doing it. Mo's game against South Florida may have impacted Seraphine to come here, right? And it's amazing to see that growth. Now, we went from an 8-team conference when I first got here, right? It was 8 teams, and we had to worry about Florida Gulf Coast and South Carolina Upstate. I remember that, right? And those were the teams. But these teams in this league have gotten better. We've gotten better. The level of talent has gotten better, right? Florida Gulf Coast just had a person go top 10 pick in the draft, right? So it's good. It's a good conference to be in. It's a competitive conference, and we've grown in it the same way. And I think I'm excited about this season. I'm excited about what we bring to the table and what we bring to the conference.
Darnell, I asked Jordan this. Last year, the facility opened up a little bit, pretty late in the season. Now that you've had a full off season and a preseason, how has that building next door helped your program?
Tremendously. Tremendously. Now we can compete against some of the people that we may not have been able to compete against before for recruiting, right? Having gym access, having a beautiful facility like that, having somewhere where they can call their own, where they can come in and lift, and we can lift and go right into practice, or we can practice and go right into a lift. That's important. And then when we showing it off, man, I mean, it's state of the art in there, man. And we got an opportunity to do some great things in recruiting, and it puts us on kind of even playing field a little bit, all right, with other people and with other programs. So I'm grateful for it. I'm excited about it. I'm excited about what it's going to bring to the table, and it's tremendous.
When you just had the one gym out there, what was like an example of extreme times you had to practice, like really early or really late?
Like last year, before we got it. Last year we would be. It's December 1st or November 23rd, and it's 26 degrees outside, right? And it's 24 degrees in Swisher, right? And we're practicing at 6 in the morning. Yeah, so 5:50 they on the line stretching and in sweats, right? Because we had to do what we had to do, but it made us. It kept us grounded, right? It kept us understanding. It kept us humble. Like a lot of people have been given a lot of things, and sometimes when you go to these high-profile programs and they have everything and everything's at their disposal, right? They take it for granted. And when these young women have this, now they have the practice facility. Now I don't think they take it for granted one bit. We can practice here. Volleyball can practice at the same time. Men's and women's basketball can practice at the same time. But this is still, Swisher is still our home. The men call it the trenches. And
What's the latest you ever practiced?
latest?
The latest.
When we come back from Christmas, everybody gets back, so we may practice at like, it may be like a 9, 10 o'clock at night, right?
When you just had Swisher.
Yeah, when we just had Swisher, right? But we used to like to get everything done early, man. So we would get everything done early so we can kind of trick them to get in the gym and shoot a little bit more in the afternoon.
And Mo, does it feel like home?
Oh
Feel
yes,
like home?
yes. That's everyday access all day. Go in there anytime, late at night, early in the morning. Swipe your card and you get in.
But I mean, if you get the urge, I should have shot 25 more free throws in practice. You can go in there
Yes,
and do that, right?
yes. Yeah.
It's awesome. It's awesome. President Cost and Alex just did a great job, and all of our donors did a great job with pushing the envelope for that. We had been talking about getting a practice facility for a long time, and I mean, like when I make phone calls and when I talk to people that have been here or talk to people that I know, they're like, "Oh, y'all got a gym? Y'all got a practice facility? Oh, it's over," right? And I think it's been huge for us, man. I think it's very beneficial to us in a lot of ways.